Squid up?
No! Squid neutral!
Okay, so a couple years back, I went to a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. I know, pretty nerdy. Okay, whatever. And I see a mutual from my childhood. Okay, I had to take a couple glances because I'm like, is that really him? He's skinny now. Okay, so we meet up. I approach. I'm like, yo, what's up? And we somehow ended up in the conversation about how we both grew up as chunky boys. Okay, and do you know what he said to me that day that I will never forget? Once a fat kid, always a fat kid. I was once a popular skinny boy all the way to the 4th grade. And I was also one of those kids that made fun of all them chunkers out there. I'm like, look at this fat guy trying to eat a salad, trying to make a great effort into changing his unhealthy lifestyle. Let me just put him down real quick and ruin the rest of his day, okay? That's not a donut. And then God struck me down in the 5th grade and was like, bruh, can you not? And then I became a circle. Okay, so now you're probably questioning, how did I get fat? Well, I have an Asian mom who likes to make white rice every single day. And there's a famous quote from Scott Pilgrim. You may have heard of it. It goes, bread makes you fat? I guess being half Asian, I didn't get lucky enough to get that Asian DNA where they got that super fast metabolism and they're eating McDonald's every single day and not even gaining a single pound. Okay, I'm so jealous. But also, there was no knowledge about nutrition like back in the day, okay? We had TV commercials constantly playing at our faces. Fruit roll-ups, sugar cereal. Oh, look at this, sugar that. Fat's bad for you, but sugar's good for you. That's basically how it went down. Also, I love food. Who doesn't love food? I love food. So yeah, in 5th grade, I had to transfer to a new school. And I was chunky. My life literally just got 2-chain comboed there, dude. I'm the new kid and I'm fat. I instantly became a loser, dude. Okay, now let me try to read your mind again. Okay, you probably be thinking, okay, since you were fat, you must have gotten bullied a lot. No, that's not the case. Okay, you know what? You know who the biggest bully was? It was me, myself. Yes, I beat myself up more than any other person. Okay, so let me give you some examples of how my insecurities would play out. Okay, this girl would never like me because I'm fat. Why even bother trying? Ugh, these guys are judging me for running my big booty into her desk. They saw. I could not do X because I'm a fat loser. I feel like these jocks are only talking to me because they're trying to poke fun at me. I see your game. I see through you. I sure hope no one catches me eating this donut, dude. Then they're gonna think I'm a huge chunker. I'm just gonna eat it secretly in the corner over there. Gee, I sure hope my shirt isn't riding up my big butt. Okay, that's the key to finding out who was fat back in the day. If you keep seeing someone constantly pulling down their shirt down, it's because fat kids were always self-conscious about having their big booty stick out, so that they want their shirt past their butt. Okay, that's the key. Once a fat kid, always a fat kid. Okay, so during PE, I'd be too embarrassed to change in front of all the guys, okay, because they're either skinny or fit or jacked or something like that. Because it was a popular thing to do to play sports, and also it was a small school. There's not many chunkers out there. Okay, I was like the only one in my class. So I changed in the stalls, and it was very embarrassing because I know all the dudes know that I would change in the stalls. And what made it worse too was that I also had whitey tighties. Yeah, that's right. My mom bought my underwear and stuff like that. So I was still rocking whitey tighties while all the cool kids had their boxers, dude. They had their boxers on, man. And here I am with my whitey tighties. I'll have you know, I wear boxers now today. Okay, I'm a cool kid now. I wear boxers. Okay. So you get it. I was a big fat loser in middle school. Whatever. Blamed all my problems on my weight. Insecure. Let's just move on. Okay, you get the point. Okay, so the worst of the worst are comments from family members. Yes, that's right. It just takes one comment about my weight, it'd make me feel insecure for the rest of the day. That's all it took. I remember one time, one of my uncles actually sat me down and he was like, "You're fat." I was like, oh, I'm fat? I had no idea. So that was not the best way to confront that situation, but there was another confrontation, okay? This was during the middle of sophomore year in high school. I had a really good friend. Well, not anymore. We don't talk anymore. That's life, I guess. But, he comes over one day to hang out with me at my house, and we're having fun, and he goes, "Listen, you're getting fatter. I'm just worried. That's all." This was the trigger, the turning point. He let me know calmly, and it gave me the opportunity to make me face myself in the mirror. I was tired of constantly feeling down, and I was tired of blaming all my first world problems on my weight, how I felt about my own body. I know society had a big partake in this feeling, this insecurity that I have, but when it comes down to it, when you really think about it, the question is, am I happy with being overweight? No. So I did something about it. I ran on the treadmill every day for 45 minutes in my mom's basement. I also figured out what to eat, which is a huge factor in weight loss. And I did what I needed to do to lose weight. Near the end of junior and high school is when I started to gain my confidence back. I wasn't considered overweight anymore, but once a fat kid, always a fat kid, right? I still felt fat, but I guess less fat. So you'd think my story ends there. I lose the weight and I become a happy skinny kid for the rest of time. That's obviously, life doesn't work like that, okay? I've gained weight back. I've lost it again. "Oh, Daidus, why do you draw yourself fat sometimes when you actually aren't fat?" Dude, I've been all over the spectrum, dude. My whole life. I've been skinny. I've been fat. I've been ripped. I've been toned. And then the cycle repeats itself and I'm back to being a chunker again, okay? It all depends on how I really feel and how long I can keep up certain crazy diets. I don't know. Like 1 month I could be very fit. And then the next month you'll see me being a chunker again. And you know what? That's okay. Listen, I'm not trying to be a spokesman for whoever or whatever. I'm not trying to represent anything. This is literally just me talking about my own experience. Take it for what you will of growing up as a chunker. Once a fat kid, always a fat kid. That statement slaps hard because the scars never leave, but it definitely makes you stronger. Guys, as long as you're happy with yourself, do it for you. Don't do it for anyone else. If you're a chunker, but you're also happy, you don't need to do anything. Of course, that's just my own opinion, but everybody's body is different and unique. And, diets work for different bodies and stuff like that, okay? Just find out what works if you want to make some change. Oh, also, one good perk about growing up as a fat kid is that you actually start to learn how to eat right and exercise and gain all this knowledge about health pretty early on your life. You'll be needing it for your whole life. You need that knowledge. If you can learn how to lose the weight once, you could always do it again. I hope you enjoyed this unscripted video, and I'll see you later. You barnacle scum.